We got a new coach now. How's it the first
Yeah.
couple weeks of practice getting used to him?
Yeah, we're still adjusting, but I mean, we knew it was going to be a work in progress. Coach and Dani are very different. Their styles of coaching and styles of play are a little different. So I know for Bergen, some of the setters, they've had to work on some new things, and our position coaches kind of switched around a little bit. So it's an adjustment, but we're just trying to remember that spring's supposed to be fun and for a learning time for us. So that's kind of what we're sticking to, but we're still working through some things that are different.
How are practices different?
I would honestly, maybe Bergen disagrees, but I think they're still pretty similar. Dani still has things pretty structured, but, just the way she goes about the order of things and the way she teaches things are a little bit different, but I would say practices are still pretty similar. The basics are the same. Some of the drills are pretty similar, but she does mix things up a little bit more than Coach. I think Coach was more a routine type of guy and stuck to that, and Dani mixes it up a little bit, but for the most part, I would say it's pretty similar.
Bergen, what are some of those things that you're having to adjust to?
Yeah, she like Harper said, she has a different style of play. So just kind of getting everyone on the same page with her new style and just getting a little faster, getting everybody on the same page with that. But really, it's pretty similar. It's just speeding things up a little bit.
What has it been like for you as the setter to run a faster offense here?
It's been really fun, and I think we're having a lot of fun with it. Everyone's just, it's different and it's new, and sometimes new is kind of exciting, and so yeah, I don't know what Harper thinks of it like as hitters, but as setters it's really fun to just kind of mix it up, change it around. We have been running some different routes, so it's kind of fun.
Harper, what has it been like for you, as Bergen said, running a faster offense?
Yeah, I mean, I'm adjusting to it, and like I said, Coach liked to keep things the same and do a lot of things in a routine and not mix things up a little bit. And I think Dani's a little bit more out there and is willing to switch it up a little bit. So we have been running new routes and running some new plays. I don't want to expose that because we have a game this weekend, but she likes to switch things up and change things and try new things.
Speaking of switching things up, some position coaches have moved around a little bit. Same people, just kind of in different spots. Just what has that been like for you guys to adjust to that too?
Yeah, I mean, Dani's the full-time setter coach, so Kelly will still work with us, and she's at all of our setter training, but Dani's the main coach, and so it's been fun, and Kelly's still there, and she knows how Dani wants it done, but again, just kind of change can be scary, but it's been pretty exciting so far.
For me, I think I said this previously, but sometimes it's a little weird hearing Kelly in my ear telling me to change things because she's never been with me as much as she has before. But I mean, I know on the coaches side of things, it's hard for them too. Jaylen isn't with the middles as much anymore, and he was with them all the time last year and before that, and so they're still adjusting too. But I mean, we're all learning together and working through it. But it is a little weird sometimes, hearing different voices, just because we've all been used to Coach and we've been used to what we knew in the past 2 years.
And you knew who Jaylen was. You were around him a lot too. Mm-hmm. Is it different now that he's talking more as an outside hitter and those skill sets?
A little bit. I think Jaylen was kind of all over. He helped with all positions, but it is a little bit different just because he's constantly with me and giving us feedback as pin hitters. So it's a little bit of an adjustment for us just because we're not used to having Jaylen with us all the time and only hearing his voice. But I mean, it's been fun, and it can be fun hearing a new voice and hearing things from someone different, and you might learn a little bit faster when you hear it from someone new. So I think it's been good, and we've been able to change some things up and been able to make adjustments faster.
When did it hit you? I mean, you went through the press conferences, you went through beach. When did it hit you that John's not here anymore? It's time to move on, or things are going to be different.
I would say probably the first practice. It was just really weird. We didn't know what to expect with Coach. We knew he liked to take things slow the first week or two that we were in spring season. And with Dani, we went straight to it. We were doing 6-on-6 in the first week. We were taping, we were doing all that stuff. And with Coach, we knew he liked to kind of work into it. So I think that was really a shock for us just because we weren't used to that. And that was kind of when it set in oh, okay, things are going to be very different, but it's going to be fun.
Bergen, one of the things that Dani talked about during her press conference was getting to know you. I mean, how's that worked out on the other side and getting to know her? I mean, what have you learned about her as a coach and her as a person?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, she's my main setter coach, so we've had a lot of conversations, and it's just been cool to get to know her off the court a little more. She's just a very down-to-earth person. She like we were just talking about it, she's always like one of the first people out of practices because she wants to get home to her kid. And so that's just kind of, it's a little bit different. Like coach was, I'll be here till midnight if you guys want to practice till midnight. So it's just cool to see kind of that side of her, and just you can tell like she's a mom, like she really loves us, she cares about us. And it was the same way that coach was a grandpa, like we were like his grandchildren, but like you can just tell in Dani that she really truly cares about her players. And it's been super cool to see and just learn more about her.
Has your son made an appearance at practice yet?
Yeah, he came to one of our scrimmages, and he was on the court throwing the ball around, yelling in the stands. They made him go sit up in the bleachers, and he was yelling down like, "Mom!" But it's pretty cute.
Harper, those scrimmages, how did they go, and what was encouraging about things that you've been working on that showed up?
For me, I think the coolest part was seeing the freshmen get to play in a real match. Obviously, we play 6-on-6 every day, but for them, I know it's kind of a special moment to put that jersey on, whether it's televised scrimmage, whether it counts for our record or not. But I think it was just really special for them to put that jersey on and actually know what a real game day might look like. And to see all the work that we put in the past 3-4 weeks at practice pay off against the team. I know it was a private scrimmage, and it wasn't necessarily a big deal, but again, like this weekend with Kansas, I know it's going to be super exciting for everybody just to show everyone what we've been working on and how much we've improved, and all the little things that people don't see behind the scenes. I think that's what's most special for the upperclassmen to see translate onto the court. So we're excited for this weekend, and I think it's just going to be a really, really fun day for us just to really put everything that we've been working on out there and, you know, give everyone what they want to see, and like be back in Bob like normal.
Harper, when fans come to watch you on Saturday, will it look much different from a volleyball perspective?
Do you mean like what we're doing, like skill-wise and things like that?
Yeah, just like for fans that are coming to watch, do you think that they'll notice much different?
I don't know. Like, I don't know how much like fans actually know and like observe that side of things. I think honestly the main thing that they'll be excited for is Dani. We've been making jokes with her about like what her outfit's gonna be because she's been stressing about that for a while. But I think the fans are just gonna be excited to be back in Bob and see us be coached by Dani, because that was one of the main things that everyone was super excited for. So I don't know if the fans will understand like the ins and outs of what's different for us, but I think the vibe will be different, and the perception of what we've been doing will be a little bit different just because like having a new coach completely changes everything. But I don't know how in depth they're going to understand that, but I think it'll be really fun.
Back to the freshmen, they came in at a crazy time with everything changing. Just how have you guys kind of embraced them as they're, you know, continuing this big transition of their life as you guys are continuing your own big transition with the new coach?
Yeah, I mean, they were going through a lot. They were just getting to college. They finally got settled in, and then everything kind of flipped on its head. But they've been great. We've talked a lot about just versatility and like just kind of go with the flow, go with whatever comes at you. And they've done a really good job of that. And I think it's almost been good for them because like the first day of practice, we didn't know what was coming either. So I think that almost made it a little easier on them of like, we're all starting at square one right here. So they've done really good jobs just coming in every single day, working really hard. And I mean, yeah, you can't tell that they're freshmen out there.
What's your impressions of Campbell? You worked with her a lot. What have you seen from her early on?
Yeah, she's great. She is a really great setter, and there's not really been a huge difference from her high school game to her college game. I think that she's made a really smooth transition, so I'm really excited for everyone to see what she has to show.
What do you guys make of just the group of liberos, defensive specialists? It's obviously moving on from Lexi. How are some of those growth things similar to what Lexi provided, and how are they different?
Yeah. I mean, I think Lexi's somebody that anyone can watch and want to play next to, and you're going to learn something from her. She's the type of person that whether you think it or not, like she's making an impact on you, and you might not realize it until later on, but there are things about her as a person and player that you take away and you want to implement into yourself. So I know for Laney and Liv, and even Macy too, Macy and Lexi were obviously great friends off the court, but on the court I think they all took something away from Lexi. I can't speak to what that would be, but I think Lexi's the type of person that's going to leave her mark, and that's exactly what she did. And I know that they all want to continue her legacy and continue to make us and our teammates and our fans and Lexi proud. So I know that they took a lot away from her, and I'm sure they're going to find their own special way to show that. But we obviously miss Lexi a lot, but it's now their turn to fill her shoes, and they've done a great job of that.
Are like Laney and Liv distinct in the way that they communicate and provide provide emotional support? Is that different? Do they have kind of their own ways of going about that?
They're very different people. They're the opposite. Yeah, they both go about it their own way. I think Liv is a little bit more like Lexi as a person, a little bit more quiet and reserved, but they both have their own way about it, and it's special no matter how they're going to do it. But they definitely both have their special way, yeah.
What has this off-season been like for you two, just as you're beginning to enter into your third season and are now viewed as the veterans on this team?
Yeah, I think it's just been a lot of nailing down just the fundamentals and getting back to that. And we talk a lot about finishing in our gym. So each and every day we want to come in, and a drill's not over till it's over, and a game's not over till it's over. And we've made it really far our last 2 seasons, but we obviously have a couple more steps to take to get to the end goal. So, yeah, it's been 2 years of kind of heartbreak, and now we know that it starts in January. The next season starts in January, and we are really thinking about December each and every day.
Couple more questions?
Harper, what was it like this past weekend in Chicago with everybody that was surrounding you, wanting photos, autographs, and that was a pretty cool moment for you, I would assume.
No, it was really special. They gave me that opportunity around like a month ago, and I've been looking forward to it ever since. And it was just really fun just to see all those little girls like want to come and be in my presence. Whether they got to take a picture with me or not, of course, it just makes you feel really successful, and you feel like you've made your mark on people. So it was a really special day for me, and it was long, but it was really fun. And Chicago, Windy City was one of my favorite tournaments that I got to go to when I played club. So it was really fun being back there, and I'm just really thankful that Adidas gave me that opportunity because signing autographs, like 4 hours. So it was really fun, and I'm just grateful that they gave me that opportunity because I love giving back, and I hope that those little girls like took something out of that and were able to take something from that. So.
Dani's talked about eliminating tipping. Is that a mentality shift for you, or how are you adjusting to that kind of mantra that she's implementing?
You know, I haven't really thought about that. I think, Coach wasn't a big fan of tipping either. I think it's a tough thing to do. You have to do it at the right time, and if it doesn't work, then you're kind of screwed. But I think she's gone about it in a way of like, how can you do it in the right moment? And if you do it, can you make it the smartest way possible? So you don't just tip it straight to the libero. You go to the setter, you get them out of system, things like that. So I think she's been implementing it in her own way and trying to teach a little bit different ways to go about it. So I don't think it's been too much of a switch, but obviously like with new tempos and learning and adjusting to the new speed of the sets, I think, that was something that she had to hammer in early. Like we can't just give away tips and we can't just give away free kills like that. So it's been a learning moment, but I think we're getting past it.
You're not going to call it the John yet?
I was honestly confused by that. I thought it's like staying Bob.
It's the John.
Oh,
It's like
the
area.
gym. I don't think we're going to call it John. That sounds really weird. That sounds so funny.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.